Hi, I'm Sonicguru.
I'm VGRetro.
I'm just Nikki.
Or Niki17 as we call him. And we're back with another podcast review series on Doctor Who, this time on Series 7, Episode 1, Asylum of the Daleks.
Yes, this is just right after it's just been on.
Yeah, it's. I
Literally,
gotta say,
literally 1 hour ago since it started.
Yeah.
yeah, this feels a bit surreal, you know?
So we're just coming off the afterglow, so our opinion may change later on, so...
Yeah. But there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot we can say for this one.
Hmm. Okay, initial story, you want to start with that one?
Okay, well, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, the Daleks find a way of kidnapping the Doctor, Amy, and Rory all together through a convenient way, which we'll get onto a bit later.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask them to go down to a planet which they call the Asylum, and which they need to get rid of the insane Daleks. And from there and then, lots of strange things happen.
And strange things, definitely, in terms... Well, the first thing we know is that there has been like a prequel quintology of mini episodes on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the pond life.
The Pond
Yeah.
Life.
Yes.
Oh,
Food
good.
on the loo.
I'll provide links in the description for part one. And basically, at the end of part 5, Rory walked out,
Yeah.
which is going to confuse a lot of fans. I've been watching online. I've been watching online, which all little kids thinking, why are they split up?
Well, to be honest, the first thing I went through the mind, there is no way they split up for any normal occasion.
Yeah, that was revealed later.
I know, but I did think to myself, okay, there has to be a good excuse why they split up, because there's no way on earth these two would ever split up because they don't love each other anymore.
Yeah.
Because
And
considering what he's gone through and what she's gone through, no way.
I mean, poor Rory. I mean, how many times has he died throughout the run of the series
I
now?
think officially 3, technically, died and come back to life.
Mm.
Wow.
But I'm
And it,
just saying, I mean, that alone, I'm glad that the explanation they did give was actually a pretty damn good one, actually.
Yeah, it was good. I liked that reason.
Mm.
It did shock me a little bit, though.
Yeah, it was actually kind of dark, actually.
Yeah.
Can we talk about
well, since Series 6, the stories have been getting more darker.
Hmm.
At least this episode actually is a singular episode, not a two-parter.
Yeah, and it's also the big thing is this is the first time Stephen Moffat's officially written a Dalek story.
Yeah.
I need an injustice.
Yeah, it did. I mean, again, I mean that's the thing because we had them in Series 5, we had the redesign, and then they left for most of Series 6, apart from the 2 second where the River song.
Hmm.
Which I once asked Nick Briggs about that, saying, you know, what happened on that day? Oh, they just phoned me saying, oh, you're in the story, right? Better do the voice in my hotel room. So
I can
that's
believe
how.
that as well.
Yeah. So again, I bet he was happy to at least be back on the the payroll. Um, but yeah, I was really surprised to see what they're going to do with the Daleks because I remember Moffat kept saying the thing with the Daleks, they're so beloved and everybody knows them. It kind of getting to a point now where they're not scary anymore. It's not just in the way they look.
I know, when I actually talked to my co-workers, some of my older co-workers, I mentioned Doctor Who, and they say, "Oh, you have to be scared of Daleks." They're not really scary; they're just there.
Yeah, there's this thing because you know how big they became in the 60s and that. You know, nowadays everybody just sees them as being cuddly as far
Well,
as some
they're
people
a
are
threat,
concerned.
but you kind of at the end of the day, you're okay to hug one as a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, until it gets its gun out.
Or want some tea?
Smell my plunger. Smell it.
Uh,
Um,
Really got to stop quoting Nash.
we'll get a bit more into the story. One of the things that just really confuses me, they've somehow gone for the Terminator 2 kind of route and made human Daleks.
yeah, I was going to talk about
Not Dalek Sec, not that tentacle
squid
hentai kind of
monsters.
thing. Just,
I am a human Dalek.
Yeah,
Sorry.
wasn't exactly.
I am your masters.
Oh, I'm never watching that one again.
This time it's actually a human that's been rebuilt from within, and actually
Yeah,
has guns come out of the hands and the eye come out of the forehead. I thought, the first time I looked at it, I thought, I don't know which is more ridiculous, the fact a tentacle head or the fact or just bits stuck on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, this is going to look stupid. I mean, if someone had shown me that for the first time, I would have gone, that's pretty dumb.
That's what you use to cosplay as a Dalek, right? On a cheap budget.
Yes.
Just get like a long woolly jumper, just all,
Just
all,
get
all,
the
all
eye
the
stuff.
little pom poms all over it, and just
Guys,
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but I guarantee memorabilia there will be a couple. You keep your eyes out. Don't act like there won't be any. You know there will be.
No, you're right.
And I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
And
that would be fun.
yeah,
The woman you meet in the story, the person the Doctor meets, they decided to put her eye stop back in the hair, but it was still in the forehead. I thought that was probably more interesting, creepy wise.
Yeah, that was much better.
Yeah.
I also find it interesting that, well, the Doctor was actually on Skaro.
Yeah, I mean well. Here's the thing, because they released the Doctor Who Adventure games. The very first one was called City of the Daleks, which actually wasn't Skaro, but I was always curious whether officially, was it still there? Was it gone? Did it get blown up or whatever?
Pretty
So
sure that it was in remembrance, or
yeah,
either that or the planet was just wiped out so that it was just a burning shell.
yeah. Well, from the
Well,
look of it, it's basically
I was just saying this. I read through the time war what the fans have accumulated. Like Gallifrey is still there, but it's just burnt or in the midst of still in a war because in the time war just goes back in time, get
yeah,
killed, get back in time, resurrect, re-killed.
So
yeah,
that's why there was that big sphere in End of Time with the Lord President and all the other Time Lords.
yeah,
Yes,
Right.
because
That makes
it's still
sense.
in like a time lock. So I'm
yeah,
guessing that war is time locked, but the planet may still be there, but it's just a shard remaining.
yeah. Yeah, but that's good enough excuse. And I was just happy to see it on telly, actually.
Hmm.
Which I will admit, it was kind of interesting that when it starts off, you see this giant statue of a Dalek, which I actually thought, is this a planet they conquered and they built this? And it's like, oh no, it's on the home planet.
Hmm. The giant Dalek statue.
No, I mean, that's how mad they are. They would literally build a giant statue of themselves on their home planet.
Either that or they'd be mad enough to get pigmen to do it. Hey, why won't those Daleks on the Asylum planet?
Yeah.
One of them got away. I mean, surely that's where he should have gone.
Yeah. But it was interesting. I mean, the idea of having a planet that's essentially full of mad Daleks, I have to admit, that generally got my interest in immediately because it's like, well, what else can you do with them?
Not much, but I think one of the main problems with this episode, in my opinion, which I'm sure you'll agree, Nikki, on, well, I'm not too sure, but you might, is they mainly used the gold Daleks.
Yes, I really wanted to talk about this.
Yeah, I remembered that. I wasn't too happy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we can see the Supreme Dalek, we see the drone Daleks, we see the blue Dalek once or
yeah, I think
twice,
that's a strategist.
the strategist Dalek,
Yeah.
but every single one we see is all gold.
Yeah, just the 2005 look, essentially.
Hmm.
Which, there's nothing, I'm probably going to go a bit of a tangent, but hear me out on this. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that design. It's worked very well, whatever, it's great.
Hmm.
But seeing them in Matt Smith's era, I've always felt, for me, it feels a bit out of place. It just feels like they don't really belong in this time of Doctor Who anymore.
I agree.
And again, the problem I had the feeling when you see a cathedral of them, and actually, there's something else because most of the Daleks in the Asylum are just the gold Daleks anyway. So I'm sorry, was the bashing of the new design Daleks that fucking bad? Was it really that bad? It's like, you know what? Just have them all the old gold Daleks. Don't bother with the new style because nobody likes us.
And it could be an excuse why there's a lot of gold Daleks in the Asylum.
Yeah.
But there was so many of those
Part,
Daleks in the Asylum, we never actually got to see a lot of the original Daleks. You
I
know,
know,
the
that
ones
was
that they
the
kept
thing that kept-
advertising.
I would say one thing why there's a lot of gold Daleks, and that's pattern of the ways.
Yeah.
What were those Daleks?
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
good point. Yeah.
but then technically, didn't they all get dissolved in the end?
Probably, I would say a few more fleets went back, the ones
Maybe
that weren't
some of them
there.
escaped just in time, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of people are reckoning that Davros probably did that in Journey's End as well.
And
So.
then, yeah, he would. I mean, even Russell T Davies literally said, even though he didn't write it, he did say, "I bet that's what he did."
Of course,
So-
that's what he did. I mean, it's fucking Davros. He doesn't die.
Yeah, he never dies. He's a kill. He's
He was meant to die.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way it is. But that bit just bothered me because I just think, do you really, is it that bad? And again, it's like I kept saying to you, I want to see these new Star Daleks. I want to see what they can do because I know they can do something.
They've all got names. Apart from Drone One, obviously red. We see it all the time. We see it in the adventure games.
Yeah,
We don't really see what the other 3 Daleks do.
yeah.
see
We know
one
the
more
Supreme
like-
is based. We know the Supreme is just the boss essentially.
White one,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. And really, the thing I want to say, I want to know what the yellow one can do because they keep hinting around saying, "Ooh, the Eternal, ooh, something special." It's like, do it. Just play on that for God's sake. If you're going to plan that, do it.
Maybe see it in part 2.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe he'll come. He'll come back whenever the Daleks come back, or will they come back?
What
Hmm.
thing is though, they could do, but this is one of those occasions where there aren't going to be any 2-parters for the series. It's just all standalone stories.
Mostly, yeah, for this run. But I'm talking about in general when the Daleks ever come back at all.
Oh well, yeah, they'll come back, but
Except
hang on, Nikki.
the way this story ends. Should we talk about this bit now?
Just one sec. I think I can hear myself again, Nikki.
Okay. Maybe because I pushed it too far near to me.
Okay. No, don't worry about it.
Sorry.
Focuses more on the story. We've got what's her name? Winston?
Oswin.
Oswin, that's the
Oswin.
one. Yeah, I just noticed an O. I know you typed it, Mike. I've got the Oswin character seemed very hyperactive and seemed to be a new, instead of being a side character. Oh, there she is. Oh, there she is. And she was a fundamental character in this episode.
She becomes one in the end. Yeah.
It was like the whole mystery behind her going for the entire episode, where doctors say, "Doctor, are you making souffle?"
Yeah. Where do you get the milk from?
Yeah, I like that.
It's funny because you think of it as a joke, and then it actually becomes an important thing at the end.
I was actually feeling that something was actually happening there. I mean, every time when the doctor first mentions you make souffles, where'd you get the milk? It was just a joke. You know, you just think it's just a joke, but then when he starts to mention it again, you really do start to get the feeling that hang on, no, something's wrong.
Something's definitely wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when it finally gets there, it's like, yeah, this isn't good at all.
I did not call that.
Yeah.
If someone said, "Oh, I called that," I knew it all along. Fuck you. No, you didn't.
You're a liar.
Nash said something like that on Twitter. He said that the twist was seen a mile off, which I think is bollocks, really.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Unless they say, well, think about it. Well, how should you? Well, the doctor just asked, how did you hack into the Dalek system?
Yeah.
So unless that could have been a clue if you were really paying attention, but I'm just saying that.
On repeated viewing, you know, you'll start to pick more stuff up. So yeah.
Well, moving away from the Doctor, about Amy and Rory. We talked about the marriage being split, but during their characteristics during the episode. Would to keep on going at the beginning, saying, "Oh, her going to sign his divorce papers, then we won't be married anymore." You just think, "Oh, it's just a natural tiff. They're just falling out, not in love anymore." And like you said, Mike, honestly thinking, after all these two have been through, no.
Yeah.
And
because you know, when it first started out, you know, you start to think of it as just like a gimmick that, you know, you start to think that, you know, it's being done simply to get people to come and watch it to find out what the hell happened. But you actually do get a bloody good reason for it. So it's not just done there for, you know, viewership. It's there, you know, it's got a good purpose there.
Yeah.
And the reveal of why, what we said, is a bloody good reason, because that's the truth. It happened.
Yeah. And it is one of those things, I think, if people did think about it a lot, they would ask questions like that.
I'll put a little thing at the beginning of this podcast video saying spoiler warning.
Yeah, well, undoubtedly. I mean, we've already, like you said, we just seen it, so we're definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We could hold this episode off for a week just so that people have time to see it.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, because by then,
I'll release it on Monday anyway.
Oh, that's a good idea because then by that time, I think the repeat will have gone out. So
yeah, actually, while we're
BBC iPlayer.
Yeah, while we're doing, sorry, I've been talking to another person on Skype who's this animator I met at Team17, and he hasn't seen the episode yet because he's busy doing other stuff. And trust me, I do not want to spoil it for him yet. So undoubtedly, if I say watch my review, wait, watch the video, watch the episode, then watch our review.
Yeah.
Speaking of going back to Amy and Rory.
Yeah.
You want to do this one, Mike?
No, I'm all right.
No, go on. You haven't spoke much.
Yeah, I know, but I think the excitement of the episode still getting to me. It's hard to think of everything at the right time, so I could be here for ages trying to remember all of it. Sorry. Yep. This is why I retired. I'm shit at reviewing.
The actual reveal of why Amy and Rory split.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember that bit.
You want to talk about that one?
Well, it's because, what was it? Rory said, Amy said something about Rory wanting children, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, but she obviously can't have children because of something that happened at this place. What was it called?
Demon's Run.
Right.
This is why you should have watched Series 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm very sorry about that, but I was held up trying to get into all the classics.
Oh, good excuse. Well, I'll be more elaborate. During Demon's Run, which was Series 6, Episode 7, Amy had a child extracted from her body. I can only assume that in a complication it actually actually made it infertile.
Well, she can't have children.
Yeah, River Song was the only child she had, and she was taken away, and she grew up alongside her. And I'm spoiling a lot of things for you, Mike.
I don't care. It doesn't. You know how I feel about spoiling, Dan. I like the surprise. I can use my imagination till I see the real thing.
And the usual tiff saying, "Oh, I waited 2,000 years," and Amy's just saying, "No, that's not an excuse anymore. Because what happened to me at Demon's Run, I cannot bear children anymore." And because of that, we can get back together.
Yeah.
And
they can adopt.
Yeah. One thing I liked, the part where they were saying all that, was that during this time, the Doctor, Amy, and Rory had these bracelets that stopped them being consumed by the Dalek's atmosphere.
Turn into a human Dalek.
Yeah. Yes, a Dalek human, shall we say, just to avoid.
Let's call it a Robo-Man.
No, because they actually exist.
Why not this? It's better than Pigmen.
Anyway, yeah. During a struggle with some Dalek human zombies, Amy loses her bracelet, and she's starting to go a bit mad. She's starting to lose her memory as a human, and is starting to turn into.
Can I say, zombie Daleks? There's gonna be a mod for them someday in some game.
Yeah, there will be somewhere.
Anyway, yeah, she starts to go mad. She's trying to remember all these things with help from the Doctor and Rory in times and that, and basically Rory decides to try and give her his bracelet, and that's when they have their dramatic argument, and then it's discovered that the Doctor's already put his bracelet on her, which I thought was a bit of a surprise, actually.
Because it doesn't really show it. It's like, oh, here it is.
Didn't you mean Rory's put his bracelet on Amy, not the Doctor's?
No, it was the Doctor's. The Doctor's took his off.
Oh, right.
On Amy's wrist.
Oh, right.
Rory came up with the idea, but the thing is, neither he nor Amy realised that the Doctor had already done it.
Right. I thought he did it within the argument. It was kind of a slip of the hand while it was in the moment.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I actually liked that. The fact that the Doctor already did it, I really like that.
Well, you know, he would do that. He'd always...
Yeah, well, he's also. This is like an excuse that has been used in the old show, but I think they got away without having to explain it here. That, well, he's a Time Lord. You know, it's not going to take as much of an effect as quickly as it would on a human, let's say.
Mhm.
So I don't think it would have been that big a deal for him to have taken it off.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's true. But again, it's an interesting. I think what they're trying to do with this series, because I think what they're going to do now is that they're going to keep having more adventures with Amy and Rory, but it's going to be more like picking them up and then taking them home each time, which I bet that will have a, there will be some consequence with that.
Weekend out.
Yeah, weekend out. But yeah, definitely.
This is actually. I know that this is the very last bit of the episode, but this is my big complaint about the Amy and Rory arguments that were taking place throughout this story and the prequel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it should have taken maybe another episode to have resolved it. I think it, like, with just one episode, I think it was resolved a bit too suddenly for me. Because it sounds like a really big deal between them, and you'd think that something like that would take a little bit longer for the two of them to, get over.
I don't know. It would seem a bit depressing if they didn't resolve it. I think some audience would go like, no.
Yeah, but they could always come back next week and see if it happens again.
They're gonna
Yeah.
leave. They're gonna leave the show anyway. So what does it matter?
Well, that is true, yeah.
That's the excuse. They're going anyway.
You know, if I went up
They've
to
already got
if I
5
met
episodes, Mike. Give them a chance.
if I met Moffat in the street, he'd probably say the exact same thing. So yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about the odd little sort of Amy solutionation sequence. Actually, a little bit, just a quick bit.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether this is going to be built up to anything. I bet this is just an odd little thing they put in there to show how her mind's going. But I think this may end up something to do later on in the series, because I think if you notice the ballerina at the end.
Yeah, I was assuming that was her.
Yeah, I was actually wondering, because you never see her face. I'm not sure if you get a chance to see her face.
No.
Right, so that could be her. That
Well,
could
you
be,
do, but it was completely blurred out because the focus was on the foreground characters.
yeah. So maybe that will build up into something. And I noticed earlier on, when the story begins, it actually, after the title credit, it has a little ballerina on a record thing going.
So you think that could be the flowing arc in this season?
This could be the art for this series, but that's a speculation. So who knows?
One thing that was still mentioned as at the very end, they still hinted at the Doctor Who thing. So remember, the 50th anniversary is only next year. So this is, I'm assuming, is still part of the build-up for that.
The build up to the Doctor's name. I bet they're still going to build it up. They are going to do that.
I can't help but think, though, when they finally do reveal the Doctor's name, I just can't help but feel that there is actually going to be some disappointment.
Yeah.
Like,
I think. Go
if he gets a Time Lord name or something, it's like everybody's going to be like, couldn't he have just been called Dave?
on.
Because, like, there used to be this long-running rumor or myth that the Master was actually named Jehoshaphat. But because the Third Doctor seemingly referred to him as that in the Five Doctors. But what actually happened there, because I rewatched it and figured it out, he wasn't actually he didn't actually say, "Oh, Jehoshaphat, it's you." He was actually going, "Oh, Jehoshaphat, it's you." So Jehoshaphat was an exclamation, not a name. And for some reason, everybody picked up on the idea that that could have been the Master's name, and it went on for years.
Right. It's interesting. It's an interesting theory.
It officially it isn't actually his name. It was just an exclamation, but it did actually attract a lot of rumors and myths.
Yeah.
Which
I mean, there was a bit in the Sound of Drones where they're talking on the phone to each other, where they're talking about, that's a Master, that's a pretty odd name, so is yours. Saying, what about your name? You picked the Doctor.
I'll be honest though, if Jehoshaphat was his name, it is a weird name. So
It's a kind of disturbing name, actually. Thinking about it.
And I think a lot of classic Who fans are going to shoot you down, Mike.
why are they going to shoot me? I mean,
Well, they got two excuses now.
Yeah.
Why? What have I done?
One, they berated you for not picking up a classic Doctor Who can of an episode that already exists, because they are fucking rare to find.
This is true, people.
Find, lost or not.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know at the time that existing episodes were important. I didn't even have the money for it.
And two, you just debunked a rumor.
But I'm pretty sure that rumor was already debunked. I mean, oh, why do I even bother?
Moving right back along, the character Oswin.
Yeah.
Loved her. Really like that character.
I was just surprised.
I would say
how,
she's an overly bubbly, hyper girl.
Yeah, for someone who's stuck on a planet full of Daleks.
She's also intelligent, and there was just something about her that worked. I just really liked her.
She actually acted like a companion. Like, I'm smart. I could actually challenge the Doctor, something that hasn't been done since Donna.
Well, it is Jenna Louise Coleman who is going to play the companion in the Christmas special. Connection?
Another what was it? Is it Perry? Terry? Who's the ginger-haired girl from the 6th Doctor to the 7th Doctor?
The ginger-haired one?
Yeah.
Mel.
Mel. I don't want to
Perry's the American one with the skimpy dresses.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah, Mel said to be from the future Doctor's companion, but stayed with him in the past. Could this be kind of a River Song kind of thing again?
Maybe.
Because she once was human.
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, hang on. Do you mean Mel or Ace?
Mel.
Mel, definitely. Right, okay. The one who screamed a lot.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
The one who was in Time and the Rani.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a bitch. I loved watching her leave in Dragonfire. That was great.
Wasn't it just literally, oh, go away, wasn't it? Just like that.
It was something like that. Yeah, it was just, oh, look, Ace is coming with me now. Goodbye. And that was it.
I have to see that sometime. Just that clip.
Yeah, Dragonfire is actually awesome. It's only 3 episodes.
Really? Only 3?
Yeah, but the cliffhanger at the end of part 1 doesn't make a lot of sense because...
Well, technically, it takes the cliffhanger to its maximum.
Well, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's a couple of scripting cuts which should have been kept in and all that.
But again, it is, when people watch it, they go like, yep, that's definitely a cliffhanger.
Oswin.
Oh, sorry, yes. Oswin.
Get back to this.
Yes, sorry.
I'm going to edit this fucker.
Oh, goody. Nikki, did you ever see the Happiness Patrol?
Fuck off!
Sorry. Don't watch it.
All right,
should
we just say what she really is now?
Might as well. Throughout the entire episode, you can guide in a Doctor saying, "Oh, please get me out of here. I'll send you maps. I can hack this. I can hack that." Something that the Doctor said is just virtually impossible. And also deleted the actual mention of the Doctor's name in the Daleks' hive mind.
Yeah.
The reveal of why she can do this, like we said, no one fucking called this.
Yeah. If you did, you're lying.
I thought she was a Robo-Man woman.
Yeah,
I
thought that too.
She could have been one of them.
She wasn't. She was an actual Dalek.
Yeah, Well, there was a quick flashback telling her what really happened to her.
Yeah, there was a real human Oswin, but then she became a Dalek. They actually had the technology to transfer her into a Dalek properly. Something which the Manhattan Daleks didn't have. I'm assuming because they didn't have
the cult of Skaro.
Yeah,
that's it. Because they probably wouldn't have had the technology in the 1930s. But this is a Dalek planet full of loopy Daleks, and
although technically they would do anything, they would find a way.
That's what they say.
Apparently, it didn't go. Yeah.
Sorry, I was
apparently
just saying.
Apparently, it didn't go right because she still retained her memory. Even though she knew she was a Dalek, she blocked it out. She still thought she was a human and actually made her own dream that she was crashing a planet for a year.
I'm surprised though that because I was actually starting to think that when I watched it and saw that all the other survivors were dead, and that then this one guy just creepily stands there saying, "Oh wait, undead. I was exposed to the snow about 2 weeks ago. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Actually, at first I thought the guy was mad. Actually, I thought.
I thought it was mad as well. He seemed like all over the place.
Hmm.
At first, it did look like that, but then it just started to go a bit weird.
And then the thing pops out of his head, and you go, okay, now we know.
Zombie Daleks.
Yeah, zombie Daleks.
That is gonna.
Have
That's
I,
gonna go all
have I
over.
created a meme by saying that? Have I
I
created a
think
meme?
we created it.
No, I created it. I was like, wait, look, Connor, look, zombie Daleks. Happy? He plays zombies on Call of Duty. Fucking hell.
That's going to be a mod. That will be,
That is gonna be a mod in some form. It's gonna be in Gmod.
Yes. Indeed. Yeah. Actually, I want to admit, the bit where Rory's alone and he technically accidentally turns on the Dalek, where he just keeps saying egg.
Hmm.
Which again, I knew. I mean, that's the first time he's ever seen a Dalek, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could be. Yeah. Mind
don't
you,
So don't think
he seemed to know who they were when they were in the Dalek ship, the Parliament.
No,
We
no,
didn't
no,
know
no,
this
no, no,
episode.
no, 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 no. Big Bang.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay, then. Right.
He shot one.
Yeah, did shoot one. Yeah.
God, we're stupid.
Yeah. Well, I don't know who's stupid. Us or Moffat didn't write that in.
No, it's just in the eyes of fans of Doctor who like read this every 10 seconds. We're the idiots because we couldn't say it off the bat like they could because they don't sleep. Idiots.
Uh,
There
Why'd
is
you say burn?
there is a life outside your basement. I don't
Yes.
care. The sun may burn you. That's your own fault.
Yes, so get out.
out.
Just get out of that basement before you end up looking like the casserole master.
I was actually in.
Sorry,
I was
Deadly
actually in the
Assassin.
sun most of the day today, so technically I just came in just to see Doctor Who.
That's a life.
That's a lot. Thank you.
I actually went out to get a pizza for Doctor Who.
Well, that's kind of a lot.
Dad's Army was also on the other channel, so I was just watching that till. I don't watch Dad's Army, but it was on, and I laughed. So fuck it. I missed the last 5 minutes, but who cares? Doctor Who was on.
I was at work and I got out late. I got out of the store at about 6:20, and it takes me an hour to get back home. I got home about 10 minutes before it started.
Ah.
Well,
I've had nothing to eat yet.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's just great that you didn't miss it.
Yeah. It's always
And
more fun to watch it on the day it's on, to be honest.
And I can't wait to talk to Morgan because it hasn't premiered in America yet.
Oh, you're going to be teasing us.
Actually, I think it'll be starting at this very moment in a few minutes.
9 o'clock in America.
Yeah.
You can be teasing.
Wait. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't start for another 5-6 hours.
Yeah, Morgan's at work, so he's actually got it recorded. He's just seen things like Pandorica and that, and I'm sorry, I still haven't watched Pandorica or The Lodger, and I'm going to watch them tonight, I swear.
Okay.
He didn't like Rise of the Cybermen or Age of Steel.
Well, who does?
I didn't like them either.
I thought they were okay.
I still hate the designs of the Cybermen. I still prefer the Tomb of the Cybermen and 10th Planet ones. The 10th Planet ones were creepier because they were more organic. They looked cheaper, but they had a more organic feel, so they seemed more scary and, more frightening, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
we can talk about this another time. I mean,
yeah.
Let's save that. Let's save that for if there is a Cyberman episode this season. What was I going to say though?
The overall thoughts.
Yeah.
Nikki, you start.
Okay, well, I'm always wary about first episodes because they always tend to be the ones where they're always there for to show off Doctor Who. They're never the best in terms of the show's run, but I think this one pulled it off in some way.
So, which is the best opening? Because we had Rose, which was an introduction for most of the stuff.
Yeah,
I would say that. Well, I do like Asylum of the Daleks as a season opener. I can't really give an opinion on this compared to the others though, because it's watching them on DVD is one thing, but watching them brand new on TV is a different matter. Because then you've been waiting for months and you've got you've got it. So I can't really count anything I've seen other than Asylum of the Daleks and Rose. They're the only season premieres of Doctor Who that I actually saw.
So
You
apart from this,
saw New Earth, but then again, who the hell likes New Earth?
Yeah, but I didn't see New Earth brand new.
You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
You sure?
I was there.
Well,
Sorry.
I saw Smith and Jones. Like for a while, I used to call that my personal favorite opener because I thought, this one kind of works pretty much.
Then we got
I like that episode.
Then we got 11th Hour. 11th Hour was pretty good.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
I think if you think about it, because that was the 11th Doctor's first episode, so everybody didn't want this guy. They wanted Tennant, nobody liked him. But the thing is, that's why it was good, because it reminds you that this is the 11th time, or the 10th time even, that we've said goodbye to an actor who played the Doctor, and then at the end when he's being a badass to all of these aliens, talking about is this world protected, what happened to these guys, and it just showcases all the Doctors. The second time that Paul McGann was cleared out as an official Doctor, which I thought was cool. But I just really loved that bit, especially when he came out and said, "Hello, I'm the Doctor."
Oh yeah, as soon as he walks through David Tennant's hologram projection, that's just
that worked. And then he did that famous line, basically, "Run."
Yeah.
Love this guy.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's official, Matt Smith is the Doctor, and he's just as good as ever.
I'd agree with that, actually. Yeah, he's sort of like, if William Hartnell, the personality that his Doctor had, if his Doctor was like a really young man, like in his 20s, I'd say that that's what pretty much Matt Smith pretty much is.
Well,
he's like a young man version of Hartnell.
Actually, I think it's more of a young man version of Troughton.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Sorry, that's true. Yeah, mix up there, actually.
He's a young man, but with the personality of an old man.
Well, yeah, he thinks bunk beds are cool.
Yeah.
Troughton sort of did. I do like that they both actually share a lot of the dialogue and that. A lot of lines. It's like, "Oh, you've redecorated. I don't like it."
Yeah.
Actually, according to what was read in a Doctor Who magazine, Tomb of the Cybermen is Matt Smith's favourite Doctor Who episode overall. So.
Did you know he didn't know anything about Doctor Who prior to being a Doctor?
Yeah, I knew that, and that's when he went to watch Tomb of the Cybermen.
Yeah. Is that what you do afterwards, don't you?
You got to choose a good episode to watch, and I think Tomb of the Cybermen's a very good choice. You seen it yet, Dan?
Not yet, but getting back to overall thoughts of this episode.
Let's stick with Asylum of the Daleks.
Sorry, yeah. Well, come on, guys. We knew we were going to do this.
Probably.
We'll try and get
Asylum of the Daleks.
Yes. Overall, my opinion, I actually think this was a good opening. I didn't feel bored at all watching it. There was everything was interesting, nothing dragged at all, which is what I love about Doctor Who. When there's an episode that doesn't drag at all. And of all the old ones I've seen, there are a lot that drag.
Yeah.
Don't watch Web Planet. But no. I really did like this one. Everything was just brilliant. The characters, I just loved the dialogue they had, like the emotional scenes, the amazing twist at the end. Jenna Louise Coleman's a very good actress. I really liked her character, and I'm hoping that we'll get some of that, a little downplayed at least, just to please people who think that she goes a bit too far, for when she becomes the companion in the Christmas special. Other than that, it was brilliant. And I also like that all the Daleks had their memories wiped, so the next time they encounter the Doctor, it's going to be really interesting, because he'll know who they are, but they won't know him.
I really wanted to say that as a last point, was that's a big thing to do, to have them not know who he is anymore.
It's like the complete opposite of the original Cybermen, because in the Daleks, the very first serial, neither of them knew who they were. Like, the Doctor was just a prisoner who was like being captured by these newfound aliens, which is a shame. He should have known prior to this episode who the Daleks were, like he did with the Cybermen in 10th Planet. He already knew who they were.
But it's still a pretty ballsy thing because that you kind of have to think to yourself, okay, how the hell do we bring them back again and make them the Doctor's enemy?
By wiping their memories and making them forget who he is and realizing how much of a big deal it's going to be when they remember. That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, I bet someone's going to have like video footage of the Doctor's exploits with the Daleks, and then they'll go, "Oh, that guy."
I thought this was a movie. What have I told you about watching The Chase? Daleks don't grunt on computers. Sorry, don't watch The Chase. Well,
your view, Dan. You haven't said yours yet.
If you say it sucked now, I'm going to be very surprised.
Just going back over in my head, it is actually a really good opener. Daleks are a side excuse at the moment because it is mostly gold. And it's mostly what I say with you, Mike. It's all the characters was there, all the emotion was there, the acting was there. Being an opening is meant to do that, meant to draw you in. And the next episode, Dinosaurs on the spaceship. The look Connor gave me, he's like, what? I'm guaranteed he's going to sit there and watch Dinosaurs on the spaceship because there's dinosaurs on a freaking spaceship.
Yeah, and the best thing is they can actually afford to make real dinosaur effects now rather than forget it.
Yeah,
we know that one.
Yeah,
and I still don't have that on DVD, so poor sod, I've got to buy that someday.
Yeah, but I think overall we enjoyed the story. There's few odd bits, but generally it works.
Yeah. As I said, I didn't feel bored at all. I was really entertained for the whole 50 minutes. It was brilliant. I had a great time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Mark Williams in Doctor Who in the next episode.
Oh yeah, should we end it there?
I think we should actually.
Yeah.
All right, we'll end it there. So until next week, we'll be talking about dinosaurs on a spaceship. God fucking hell, who came up with that name?
Well, the thing is, before we go, I should actually point this one out. The thing is with this series, because they're making all the episodes standalone stories, they're actually trying to make them feel more like mini films.
So much so they actually release little posters of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And then they actually got premieres in certain cinema screenings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. One for this one, it was in I can't remember where it was, but it was on August 14th.
And they had them in New York as well, and various other places in America. Isn't it funny how big Doctor Who's become in America now?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It really is.
When even in the 80s, when the classic show was running, they only very rarely showed it in America. And in the 60s, they didn't show it at all because they were worried about racial over undertones or something in the context.
Well, it was shown after Kennedy was assassinated, so there's a bit of a deal.
Mind you, they were worried about racist tones of foreign programs, but the only time that's ever really been implied was what that could ever be connected with Doctor Who is in the Celestial Toymaker, where one of the characters uses the word nigger. The funny thing is, though,
I never bleep that word out.
Sorry. Well, no, I don't mean it. I'm just saying that word is in there, and it's a horrible word. But what I actually find funny about the CD soundtrack is that the narrator talks over that line, so you can't hear him say it.
Censorship.
Very clever, and I think if they released that on DVD, they'd cut it out too. You could bleep over the word down. I mean, I'm not happy that I had to say it, but yeah, that actually happened.
So, but yeah, I mean, we'll end it here now. So
yeah.
It's great. It was great doing this again. I'm quite happy to do it again.
I think it was a great idea. I'm looking forward to doing it next Saturday night.
Okay, so see you all next. I was Sonicguru.
I was VGRetro.
And I'm Niki17 now. So yeah.
We'll see you all next week in Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
At least it's not invasion.
Lord help us.
At least it's not invasion. Boomobile, anyone?
We're out.